E3 starts in just a few hours, or at least EA Play does, and even though they're technically not affiliated with E3, it's basically the beginning of the show, and so it's finally time to reveal and share with you my top 10 most anticipated games of E3 2018. What's going on, everybody? It's Ghost Robo, and I am currently en route to Los Angeles for a week of gaming goodness. This is my holy grail week, my favorite week of the year. I love everything that goes down, all the events, all the appointments, all the games, all the people. It is so much freaking fun. And so I've got a list of the 10 games I'm most excited for and most anticipating. Let me know in the comments down below what game you're most anticipating and how you feel about my list. The rules here were that the game has to exist or be announced in some capacity. So while I really believe that Pikmin 4 is coming and I'm super pumped for that, I couldn't put it on the list. And while I really think that Bethesda has something much bigger hiding behind the guise of Rage 2 and Fallout 76, I couldn't put it on the list. These have to be games that we know about and are confirmed. So number 10 to kick things off is Black Ops 4. But that may sound like a weird choice, and it is. I think, for me at least, the reason it's here is because of Blackout. That Battle Royale mode I'm super intrigued by. To see how a major AAA franchise tackles this phenomenon is going to be really, really interesting, and I hope that they do it really well. I'm not the biggest fan of PUBG or Fortnite, but I could see myself getting really into a Call of Duty version of it, and I think it's just super intriguing how Black Ops 4 is going to handle the omission of single player, how they're going to merge multiplayer, zombies, and Battle Royale to create a new formula for Call of Duty. And that Blackout mode better hit it hard, because that is basically the component that is being exchanged for single player, and I think there's a definite percentage of the audience that is sad about single player, so hopefully Blackout can soothe the pain. And I think what they described at their reveal event sounded very cool. We haven't seen it, we don't know how many players. Very pumped to see this one revealed later this week. Number 9 is Cyberpunk 2077. This should be higher on my list. A lot of people have it as their number 1 or number 2, but I'm not the biggest fan of The Witcher 3. I know that's blasphemous and weird and what the heck, but I really didn't like that game. And I hope that Cyberpunk 2077, even though it's going to be very much in the same vein, does enough different and appeals to my preferences much more. The futuristic setting is already on the right track. That initial trailer, even though it's nothing to do with gameplay, is so darn sweet. And if they can capture that feel and that vibe and bring in a really cool story and the evolution of their RPG formula, like, that's going to be so, so cool. I cannot wait to see where it appears. I think that'll be interesting when it's coming out and what exactly it is. Super pumped for Cyberpunk. Number 8 is Spider-Man, and the game comes out in a few months, but I still feel like there's so much to know about the overarching structure of the game. I mentioned this one in my games I'm worried about at E3, not because I think the quality will suffer in any way, but I really wish that there are linear, indoor, and more controlled, designed segments as opposed to just a giant open world that you swing around. So I'm eager to see some more of the meat and potatoes of Spider-Man and to learn more of the structure of the game and maybe get a taste of more of the characters and some more of the gameplay elements. I'm sure it'll be playable at the show, so that's another reason it's here. A lot of these games probably will not, like Cyberpunk, but Spider-Man should be, and that's really exciting. Number 7 is Rage 2. It's already revealed, but I cannot wait to see more. I thought that trailer was awesome. I really liked Rage. In spite of some of the plot problems and in spite of it being drab and brown and bland in a lot of ways, it still was like a cool concept, and I still like the overarching structure, and the gunplay to me was really fun. So I'm excited to see what they've done here. You know, they're partnering with the Mad Max team, so that should build this real rugged outdoor open world environment and hopefully fill it with depth. I do hope that there are linear segments as well, and I'm eager to see how they push that fun and color, because that clearly was something that was a focus for them in that initial trailer, and if they can create sort of a very like wild and crazy vibe, I think that's only going to do the game a lot of favors. Hopefully this one's playable. I have an appointment with Bethesda. I'm praying that that is a part of my time. Number 6 is Splinter Cell, and you could say that this doesn't belong because it hasn't been announced, but it's on that Walmart Canada list, and everything on that Walmart Canada list has proven to be real and accurate. So it's all but assured that Splinter Cell is coming, and I think it's going to be really cool to see how Ubisoft decides to tackle this one, where they take Splinter Cell. Is it traditional Splinter Cell style, just really pretty graphics and some new mechanics. Are they going to maybe make it open world, merge some of the ideas from Watch Dogs 2 into Splinter Cell? My favorite parts of Watch Dogs 2 are the most Splinter Cell-like parts, where you are stealthing around and using your gadgets to try and get in and get out without being spotted. Now, obviously, Splinter Cell and Sam Fisher have a totally different tool set and a totally different mentality, so incorporating some of what they've learned from recent open world games into a more open world Splinter Cell could be downright amazing. And I wonder if the game is going to launch this year. They've got The Division 2, they've got Assassin's Creed Odyssey, they've got Skull and Bones. We know that one has been delayed, so will there be anything else later this year? I could see Splinter Cell being a surprise release, but even if it's early 2019, super pumped to see how this one plays, and it could be playable, so that will be really fun to find out. Number 5 for me is Super Smash Bros. Switch. Now, I'm not the hugest fighting game fan, but I'm a huge Nintendo fan. I have an entire channel dedicated to this Switch thing, and I cannot wait to see the character reveals. I've heard that they are going to blow people out of their seats, and that is super freaking exciting. Rumors of Crash Bandicoot, rumors of a Banjo-Kazooie / Microsoft inclusion, rumors of Ridley. Please bring us King K. Rool. That is my dream character, and honestly, it's one of the things that if King K. Rool gets announced, as dumb as it sounds, it'll make this E3 one of the best for me. So I know what the gameplay is like. I know Smash Bros. That part is a very, expected commodity, but the characters, it's always crazy, and the way that they build hype and the way they do their reveals, so epic. It's going to be the tentpole piece of Nintendo's E3 Direct. Cannot wait. There's more from them as well, but since we don't know officially what they're all going to announce, and like I said, Pikmin, I can't mention it, so Smash Brothers takes this slot. Number 4 is the From Software project, and even though it doesn't have a title, we know it's real and it's going to be back at the show. They say it's not part of the Soulsborne series, but instead something new. That is really exciting. Shadows Die Twice. What the heck is that? I don't know much to say here because we don't have much to go off of, but I'm a huge Dark Souls fan. I just finally got my hands on the remaster. That was fun. It was also fun to blow past the initial areas that took me hours when I first played that series years and years ago. I love Bloodborne. Some people are hoping for Bloodborne 2, but this new project is actually where I'm setting my sights, and hopefully we get a lot more detail on what direction they're taking their new IP. Number 3 is Ghost of Tsushima, the Sucker Punch joint. I love me some Infamous. In fact, I really want to go back and play Infamous Second Son. The opening of that game is so beautiful and so majestic as you enter the Seattle city and the powers. It's a really cool game, and maybe they'll take things to another level here, giving us a new open world, a new style. It's still going to probably be very action heavy and still going to be very stylized. I'm pumped. I don't know exactly how the game will play or what they'll show, but hopefully a deep dive, given that this is one of the 4 pillars of Sony's conference. I'm expecting to get a lot of it. And I thought about putting Death Stranding here, but honestly, Ghost of Tsushima is probably nearer to release and is probably more my style of game. Now, they just announced that Days Gone is releasing February 22nd of next year, which opens up that April-May slot for a game. Could it be this one, or maybe another title further down the list? Number 2 for me is Anthem. So stupid excited for Anthem, and maybe that is wrongfully placed, but I'm still just beyond hyped. I'm not the biggest Destiny fan, and I know that's the framework that they're going off of here, but I really love Mass Effect 1 and 2, and if BioWare can conjure that magic and merge it with looter shooter, we could have something super special on our hands. And we know that it's going to be the focal piece of EA's show in just a couple hours. You may be watching it right now. You may have already seen it. I hope it delivers. I don't know how much they're going to reveal. The game is expected to release early 2019. I don't think it'll be playable, but if they can go in on the fact that this is an evolution of Destiny, which at this point released quite a while ago, it could really steal the entire show, and it could be the game of the show for many people. But they're going to have to double down on how this is different from what we've seen in games like Destiny or Division, and Division 2 will have a chance of its own, but I really think Anthem, given the power behind it and given the how much meaning is behind this title for EA and for BioWare. I've mentioned it in other videos, but BioWare coming off of Andromeda, they are all hands on deck to make this thing a hit. And EA, given the sort of dicey dealing with Battlefront 2, they really need to show that they can deliver a massive service-based game in a style that is fan-friendly and favors the consumer. They got a lot to accomplish, and I hope that they do, because if so, Anthem is going to be awesome. And rounding things out at number 1, you probably have guessed it by now, it's The Last of Us 2. How could it be anything else? This game is so magical and so majestic. I spent so much time with both the single player, the multiplayer, and Left Behind. I love it so much. It's one of my favorite games of all time. I'm a big fan of the entire plot and the entire game, the mechanics. I personally love all of it. So I can't wait to see how they evolve things and what new heights they try to reach with this sequel. I'm a big fan of Uncharted 4. I think that was their best effort yet. And so Last of Us 2, can it top it? How do they expand upon the gameplay systems and mechanics of the first game? Will they double the amount of enemies? What's the deal with Joel and Ellie? Where are we going to go? And what's the overarching structure and story? So much to reveal and so much at stake, because Naughty Dog is one of, if not the top studios in the industry right now. It is Sony's golden child, outside of Sony Santa Monica, which just delivered an absolute masterpiece in God of War. So I think I have this secret little battle in my head between God of War and Last of Us 2. Like, can Naughty Dog come through? Can Druckmann go toe-to-toe with Barlog and make another beautiful game and have these two games, Last of Us 2 and God of War, be like the gems of the generation? That's totally plausible if they're able to add some depth and really create another just emotional and connecting story that really hits home. And I hope that they refine the shooting, add more survival elements, and hopefully bring back the multiplayer in a new and exciting way, because I did love that component. So that is my list. Black Ops 4 because of Blackout, Cyberpunk 2077, Spider-Man, Rage 2, Splinter Cell, Super Smash Bros. Switch from Software's project, Ghost of Tsushima, Anthem, and The Last of Us 2. Let me know your most anticipated game of E3 in the comments down below. Hopefully I'll cover all of this list. I should have a chance to play most of it, and I will bring my impressions and thoughts and experience to you. Make sure to subscribe if you want to see all the E3 goodness. You can follow me on Twitter and Instagram, links in the description. I will be posting on those, and I hope you guys enjoy the show. It's going to be an awesome week, a crazy, busy, hectic week, but again, it's my favorite week, so I cannot wait to share it all with you soon. Until that time, everybody, drink so much all. Thanks again. Have a fantastic day. I love you. And until next time, we will see you all later.